Saudi Arabia and China are accelerating. According to reports, Saudi Arabia is considering pricing some of its oil sales to China in the yuan rather than the U.S. dollar. This move raises concerns about China's efforts to try to replace the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency. Joining me right now is a Wolfpack Research founder and chief investment officer, Dan David. Dan, it's great to have you today. Thanks very much for being here. What do you make of this? The Saudis want to use the yuan to pay for oil transactions with China.
Well, good morning, Maria, and thank you for having me back. First, I'd like to offer my condolences for the Fox family that you lost, Sasha and Pierre, in Putin's grotesque war. What I make of what the petro yuan is something that China's been working on for years, and part of their Belt and Road policy, and really to be the homogeny in that part of the hemisphere as they work their way over through Africa and into South America. They've been doing this with loans, onerous loans that they've made in Africa. And now Saudi Arabia is like, are the United States our friends? I don't know, because, we're back in the Iran deal. Security guarantees don't look so hot after what happened in Afghanistan and that withdrawal. The Biden administration does not have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia. So I think they're hedging their bets on who's going to be the world power in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, after the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, a lot of guests came on the show and said, well, our friends no longer trust us and our enemies no longer fear us. And that quote came to me when we heard the story last week that the Saudis would not even return Biden's call, would not take his call. And it's largely because of this Iran deal. The president wants to get the U.S. back into the JCPOA Iran deal. Meanwhile, there's China watching all of this. Dan, got to get your take on what went on for Chinese companies overnight. China claims it will roll out policy measures to boost the economy and favor some market principles. It will communicate with the United States regulators to try and reach an agreement on audit rules as well. And Dan, all of those Chinese stocks soared in value. The Hang Seng Tech Index was up 22%. Your thoughts? Are you buying it?
No, I'm not buying it. And these audit rules are born of the China Hustle, which was, the documentary that we worked on years ago. This started in 2010, and China has effectively slow-walked this for the last 12 years with rhetoric like this. Every once in a while, there's a great headline, especially when China's stock market is tanking like it had been for the last week, especially when they're having their COVID lockdowns again. But really what they're doing is taking their biggest and their best companies and they're listing them in Hong Kong as well, since they now took over Hong Kong and it should not have the autonomous status that we have given them in the past. And they're going to leave us with the companies that are still fraudulent, quite frankly. How many have we exposed? We've had 12 companies that we've exposed that have been kicked off the exchange and more. So I don't think they can comply with audit rules because a lot of them are frauds.
Well, Dan, this is the issue I want to bring to your attention because yesterday I reported that the House Financial Services Committee, led by Maxine Waters, was trying to find a bipartisan package aimed at punishing Russian companies, taking the Russian companies off of U.S. exchanges. It would have been legislation that would require U.S. exchanges to delist Russian companies that trade here. That delisting mandate would likely be in effect as long as Russia occupies Ukraine. However, this morning I'm hearing that Wall Street lobbying companies and lobbyists on Wall Street, these companies that own these and manage these indices, effectively killed this, and they're worried that it's the same as China, that these companies will not be delisted because this bill was killed. Your thoughts on whether or not the administration would actually make such a move? Really use the capital markets lever to take the Russian companies off the exchanges and the Chinese companies off the exchanges that do not follow U.S. accounting rules. It seems to me that the Wall Street and the Treasury successfully killed this bill. Dan, what do you think?
Well, you almost lost me after you said Maxine Waters and bipartisan. That doesn't make sense to begin with. But I don't think that they're going to do this with the Russian companies. The few that are here are very big, and there are a lot of banks that are very into these companies in a big kind of credit service way, just like China. We've had some time with China, but this has always been a fight against big banks because, look, our banks are not U.S. banks. I mean, they're not really U.S. companies. They're worldwide companies, and they're beholden to their shareholders. Though they do carry a lot of sway in Washington with their lobbyists.
That's
and
right.
they don't want to see these things change. That's what's been fighting the China change with the audit rules. And I don't think that they're going to get anything substantively quickly with Russia. No way.
Yeah, well, Russia, China, those companies remain in our indexes and indices, and investors need to understand they're funding these companies by having them in their emerging markets indexes. So you should check your indexes. Dan, thanks very much. Dan David joining us. Final word, Dan. Go ahead.
We're funding their military through our indexes. I mean, they're taking these straight to artificial intelligence, straight to quantum computing, all the things that they use to beat us with. We are funding through our stock market. We should understand that as well.
That's right. Dan David, thank you, sir. We'll be right back. Stay with us.